Comedian Hal Sparks has been here making us laugh all morning,
true.
providing his unique sense of humor. If you'd like to see him, you're going to be headlining tonight and tomorrow at the Comedy Castle.
Yep, one show tonight and 2 tomorrow. Yeah, it's going to be fantastic. I have no doubt.
I'm sure. You know something, we were talking and Jeff Vaughn asked you a great question about where your comedy comes from. It comes from a unique place.
Yeah, I talk a lot about the future, essentially, in my act, which I think these days you've got a lot of comics touring, you've got a lot of people out there, but they're all dealing with the same cultural references. Like, we all grew up on Star Wars, we all grew up with the Terminator or whatever, and then you start talking about those kind of references, that's as far as anybody goes. And so I started a couple of years ago really going looking at the future, going, you know, maybe I'm the only comic with hope. Because everybody's like, oh, it's going to end, or this is terrible, or we're going to bob ourselves into oblivion, that kind of idea. The sarcastic or ironic negativity is kind of played out in some ways. So I really, almost as a creative decision, went, okay, where are the jokes that haven't been made? What are we not talking about? And I think that's where we're going as humanity, because we're going to be super different. We're going to be as different in 20 years as we were 100 years ago to now.
Just the speed of technology.
Yeah,
and the
it's
speed
happening
of
so
change.
fast. I mean, think about this. Like, there were no smartphones before 2000 at all. Now they're ubiquitous, and it's the most normal aspect of our human existence in modern society. And those are going to look like crank phones in 20 years.
You find the humor in that, in your
Because
shows.
past is prologue. The same mistakes we've made in the past, the same foibles and fears we've had, are going to happen again, because it's all a new frontier all the time. And that's how people handle, humans handle new frontiers, by tripping on the edge of the carpet and looking back to blame the floor. That's essentially how we do it.
That's the type of perspective that we're looking for.
Right.
And hey, you know something? Some people may recognize your name, recognize your face. You're in Lab Rats right now.
Yeah, Disney XD,
and
right.
Disney XD, but you have been in so many other. There we
Yeah,
go.
that's right.
There's a little bit of it.
Yep, playing a billionaire scientist inventor, as you do.
You mean that you're not a billionaire scientist?
I'm not a billionaire yet.
Okay.
We're working on that. Yeah, I actually do have a physics background, and I'm the kind of the soft pedal tech advisor on the show too. Because when they come up with a bionic power that the kids will have and all that, I kind of tap the brakes and go, okay, this is how much energy it would actually require, or this is what it would feel like if you
you're
had.
a producer of the show.
Yeah, well, I direct.
You direct.
Yeah,
Forgive me.
yeah. I'm one of the. I've directed, and I'll direct again on the spin-off that we just begin, and we start shooting in like 10 days.
What are some of the other shows and movies that people will have
Queer as
seen?
Folk is the dramatic work that most people know me for, and then I hosted Talk Soup and Dude, Where's My Car, which is actually where this shirt comes from, ironically enough. And then and Spider-Man 2 was a weird kind of breakout moment because of that. I'm in the elevator scene with him, and it's amazing how that few minutes on screen drove my career for like 5 years, it seems.
What do you think it was about that scene that captured the imagination of Hollywood executives to put you into all these other shows?
I think it was Sam Raimi, the director, who did Evil Dead and has been known to take the camera and put it on a broomstick and shove it in your face to make these really active shots. It's the only lock-off in the entire movie. It is just us. It's myself and Toby, and it's improv. So it's just us being kind of funny in that moment. And so I think that's what made it pivotal. Sam said it was his favorite scene in the entire movie, and considering how much work went into that entire film, that's an extraordinary thought. So, and he's a genius. So that being said, you know, I've been chipping it away at this for a long time. I started doing stand-up when I was 15 in Chicago. So
at Second City?
Yeah, I started doing improv at Second City, was there in the teen troupe when I was at the same time I was in high school. Best acting school in the world, by the way. If you're thinking of studying acting, push aside all the others, go to Second City. That's my theory.
All right, let's get over to cool clips, because we want to hear you riff on some of the day's crazy things. So,
okay,
guys,
I'm for it.
I don't know. We're looking at the Spider-Man scene right now in the
Spider-Man
elevator.
scene.
Hal, we're checking that out here on my smartphone.
See? That's what I mean. It's your cyborg parts that you just carry around with you. Yeah.
Very entertaining. Well, the worst part of buying a lot of groceries is, of course, unloading the car and bringing them inside. But these helpful pups make that job pretty easy.
I wish Jacob would do this for me. It's a whole pack of golden retriever pups, and take a look. They're making.
Jacob's your husband? I'm sorry, I'm new.
That's my dog. He's the golden as well.
All right.
They're taking multiple trips from the truck to the house.
And they're happy about it.
And they're bringing in bags from produce, laundry detergent. And the dog's owner says they've always helped bring in the groceries every time they've gone shopping.
Adorable. They don't. Did they show all the electric cattle prod thing that he used to train him to do that? That's adorable.
Is there a doggy biscuit in every bag?
If
right?
I don't do this, I won't eat.
Goldens are pretty happy to help.
Yeah. No, I mean, isn't it a golden retriever's job to look happy doing almost anything?
Yeah.
I mean,
You got it.
you're literally
smile.
torturing them with a tennis ball, and yet they're like, this is awesome. I love this. I love me and you and the food, and this is great.
That's what we love about 'em.
Right. So,
It was a terrifying moment. You saw this a minute ago. As drivers as a landing plane came within just a few feet of the top of their vehicles. Take a look at this. A plane was landing at Juan Santa Maria International Airport in Costa Rica. There it goes, right over the car.
Goodness.
It was coming from Madrid, Spain on Sunday. We're told the plane had to change its original landing because of problematic winds. No restriction on how low those planes can go before they cross that security fence there, just as long as they cover it. And they did, but that's quite a rush, wouldn't you think?
Oh, look at that shot. Wow.
maybe news to the drivers who are passing by an airport. Before an airplane actually touches the ground, it's going to get really close to it. Your big problem there isn't the plane clipping there, it's the jet wash.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
Because jet wash can actually flip a car.
we got to hit a hard break here, so let's find out what's happening
Again.
later on today on Right This Minute.